All right, let's get right into it. Today is day 112 for the PLAZM protocol, and it is all about the final countdown. We're talking about the last stretch before normalization, and believe me, the clock is ticking. And that's the magic number right there, 6. We have just 6 days left until the protocol is set to hit normalization. The finish line is so close, you can almost feel it. You know, this isn't just any other week. These next 6 days, they are the absolute culmination of a massive stress test for the entire system. It's the final big hurdle before the mechanics shift into what we call normalization. And that's when those daily token releases finally settle down to a much lower, stable level for good. But, and this is a big but, here's the thing. While we're getting closer to this huge milestone, the wider market is, well, it's not exactly cooperating. Both PLAZM and eShare are feeling the squeeze from a broader market pullback. So the protocol isn't just facing an internal test, it's doing it with a nasty headwind. And that really brings us to the core question of the day, doesn't it? With this final major test just a couple of days away and the market looking shaky, are the fundamentals of the protocol actually strong enough to handle the pressure? So let's talk about that test. Everything right now, and I mean everything, really centers on one single event, the huge token release that's scheduled for day 114. This is the big one. And that's the number everyone is watching. In just 2 days, almost 500,000 PLAZM tokens are going to be unlocked. It is by far the largest single release left before we hit normalization. So you gotta understand, this isn't just another day of emissions. This is it. This is the protocol's final exam. It's the last major supply shock it has to absorb before everything finally settles down. Okay, but before we all get too nervous, let's get some really important perspective here. The upcoming test is for about 478,000 tokens, right? But just 28 days ago, on day 94, the protocol got hit with a release of over 733,000 tokens. That's 35% larger than what's coming, and it sailed right through. So not only is this upcoming test actually smaller than the last big one, but the protocol itself has had another 28 days to build up its defenses. It's older, it's more mature, and it is fundamentally way stronger than it was when it faced an even bigger challenge. So when I say stronger, what does that actually mean? Let's break down the core defensive metrics, the numbers that really show why the protocol is in such a solid position to face this thing. First up, let's talk about token burns. This is pretty straightforward. We're talking about tokens that are permanently destroyed, just completely removed from the total supply forever. It's a really powerful deflationary force. And the protocol has been an absolute machine on this front. Get this, over 825,000 PLAZM tokens have been burned so far. That is 13% of the entire supply. Just gone. Poof, wiped from existence. And check this out, it's actually accelerating. In just the last 3 days from day 109 to today, another 64,000 tokens have been vaporized. This burn mechanism is relentless. It just keeps working 24/7 no matter what the market is doing. All right, next up, staking. This is all about people locking up their tokens, which is a massive vote of confidence in the long-term health of the protocol. And crucially, it pulls those tokens right off the open market, which shields the price from potential sell pressure. And wow, is that conviction strong? A massive 2.18 million PLAZM tokens are currently staked. Let that sink in. That is 36% of the entire supply, locked away by believers. And this isn't some static number. We're watching a story of incredible growth. Just look at this journey over the past 28 days. The amount of staked PLAZM has gone up by almost 1 million tokens, 940,000 to be exact. Even as the price is pulled back, more people are locking up, not selling. That speaks volumes. So let's put all the pieces together. When you combine the 36% of supply that's staked, the 23% that's in liquidity pools, and the 13% that's been permanently burned, well, you start to get a very, very clear picture of what's going on. And what it all boils down to is this. 72% of the entire PLAZM supply is effectively locked up, illiquid, or just plain gone. That means only about 28% of the total supply is actually free to be traded on the open market. That is a powerful defensive wall. Okay, so we've established that the protocol's defenses are strong. Now let's look at the road ahead. What does this final 6-day push to normalization actually look like? Here's the play-by-play for the final stretch. Today, we've got a moderate release. Tomorrow, it ramps up. And then comes day 114, the final test. But look at what happens right after. The pressure immediately drops way down. followed by a couple more manageable days before we hit day 118, and that beautiful, low, normalized release number. Once we clear day 114, it is a clear path to the finish line.
So, with that path laid out, let's give a final verdict. How is the protocol's health looking as it gears up for this final challenge?
The health check looks absolutely fantastic. The burns are steadily eating away at the supply. Staking is knocking on the door of 2.2 million, and that fortress, that 72% protected supply, is holding firm. The fundamentals are just undeniably strong.
So let's be direct here. Yes, the price is feeling the heat from the wider market, and yes, the test on day 114 is a big deal, but the data couldn't be clearer. The protocol's internal health is rock solid, and frankly, it has already survived a much bigger test.
In 6 days, this protocol normalizes. In 2 days, it faces its final exam. All the fundamentals are in place, the defenses are up, and history is on its side. The final test is officially here. So, the only real question left is, are you ready?